Hello, in this video I will be demonstrating the Freetype quotation form of the system and explaining what Freetype quotation does. This is applicable for the Redthorn SP and the Redthorn full system and is available in the quotation and sales area of the system. I'm going to run it from the Redthorn SP workflow. So Freetype quotation, so we have a normal quotation, and a normal quotation, create amend customer quotation, it's for quoting parts that already exist in the system. Now, over the years, it's become apparent that it's not worth putting data into the system in a lot of cases, or a lot of data into the system where you're not going to win. If they're quotes, you may not win. So the Freetype quote was developed, or has been developed, to be used for customers who just wish to quote something with minimum data input into the system, and to be able to quote something where the part quoted isn't clogging up or filling up the parts database. So I've opened the Freetype quote form. So it's like a stage before a full quotation, but it allows you to issue a quote. And there's 3 or 4 areas of Freetype quotes. And if I just run one of these Freetype quotes, it should explain it, explain what I'm setting out to achieve. So to do a Freetype quote, the customer does have to be in the system. So I'm going to say JCB have requested a quote, and it's for an inner gear seal, let's call it. So I'm going to call it JCB inner gear seal 001. So I'm going to give it a part number, and that's all. Now that could be any kind of description. I'm going to say they've requested a quote for 10, so I'm going to quote 10, and they're going to be £10 each, and they want them in the end of June. Now at this point, I could have just gone and searched for a part and quoted an existing part, but I've Freetyped this part, so it's not telling me the part exists. And then I'm going to say it's a, what did I say it was? An inner gearbox, inner seal. Okay, so I've given it a description, and I'm now going to save that. So I've created that Freetype quote, very simple, and now I can print that Freetype quote. And here you can see I now have a quotation that I can issue to a customer, and it's got a QQ quotation reference, which indicates Freetype quote, and obviously, as usual, things like the default document can be controlled in the admin area of the system. So that's the Freetype quote issued. Now, once it's been issued and printed, it goes in the print queue, and you can see these are a load of items in the print queue, and there's the one I've just raised. You can see as yet there is no part existing for this. If I click OK, it'll take me, so what I did there is I just repeat that. So for the line, so this quotation, I now want to create this part so I can either properly quote it or raise a job against it. So I've clicked the part exist checkbox, and it now allows me to create the part. So at this point it will create the part, and it's JCB. Save that. Now if I refresh this, you can see I've created that item. In this case I did create it as a component, and it's now telling me that part exists. Now at this point I haven't done any planning and I haven't done any estimating, but if I had, I could it would tell me, and I can now I can actually raise a job from here. Now that the part exists in the database, I have a number of options. 1, I could now raise a job for it, or 2, I could actually raise a more formal quote, and in this case I'll do that. So I check the box, click that, and now I'm in the formal quotation screen, and I can leave all the details the same, and now I can produce a formal quote for it and produce it as a formal quote. So it's like a Freetype quote's an early giving a number without having created the part or done any bit of materials or planning on the part. So now if I go back to my Freetype quote screen, excuse me, I'm going the wrong way, there we go. I can now see that will be transferred to quoted. So these are all of the items that are quoted, and you can see here I've quoted a part that is planned and estimated, so I've got that view of whether it's planned or estimated. So that's essentially Freetype quote. You can go in, create a new quotation, Freetype what the description is, or you can pull apart. If I pull apart, you can see it's telling me the items exist. Save it, print it, issue it to the customer. Then if you want to turn it into a formal quote, it will be in printed, and you can formally quote it using that button, or you could then process it straight to a job. So in this instance, you may just choose to process it straight to a job because you don't need to do the formal quote because you're happy with the Freetype quote. And the other thing you can do, and then you can see ones you've quoted. So these are just filters essentially. And the other thing you can do is you can see ones you've removed. So when this list starts getting out of hand, you can say, well, actually, for my quoted items, I'm going to remove some of these. So you could say, well, actually, these are no longer applicable. And you can click this remove button, and then they have now been transferred to remove. So you can keep the screens tidy. So finally, Freetype quote, this will take you through to the customer database, this will take you to part product maintenance database, material database. I've just demonstrated that, and this will give you the report of all your Freetype quotes. So in summary, Freetype quotes simply a way of quoting from the system without having to set up any part information in the system, and therefore you don't fill up your parts database. And then if you do want to progress that Freetype quote to an order, you can, and at that point you can put in the part, do the planning and estimate if required.